And hello, everybody. It is Thursday, July 8th. Welcome back to another real estate update here for the city of Calgary. Welcome back, Jaden Bax from Avenue Financial.
Yeah, I'm actually here this time. I'm sitting at my desk where I should be, where I'm not trying to use my cell phone in the car. So thanks for having me again, Mark.
Yeah. Well, we kept you on. It was a bit rough last week, but hey, that happens. That happens.
Yeah.
We're mobile. We're working all the time. So,
Yeah.
welcome to July and super interesting stats that we're going to get to here in a second. I think the story for June was still very much a seller's market. There was some increases in inventory that helped buyers with a little bit more choice. But there are communities in the city where supply is still under 2 months. And so that means that it's an extreme seller's market. So we are going to take a look at this now. So you can see and we're looking at detached stats here. So this is June, and we're going to start from the left. So we had a total sale number of 1,819, which was 66% above 2 years ago, and just slightly under 66% from last year. New listings up 34%, but active listings down 20% from 2 years ago. About the same as last year. And unfortunately, our benchmark price is not showing up there. I can tell you that for detached, it jumped 1% from May. And overall, year over year, it was 13% up from 2020. And our medians and averages, we can look at that. But the other number that I want to focus on here is days on market, 27 days. That's just under half of what it was last year and the year before, 44, almost 45% down, which means that homes are still selling very quickly when they are priced correctly. So seeing a lot more price reductions coming into my inbox and so forth. So that means that the market's softening up just a little bit from the seller side of thing. You can kind of see the July numbers here. I'm going to get into that in my own stats because these are not updated as of today. They're updated, I believe, as of yesterday. And so my stats are going to be a little bit more accurate. But overall, had a very strong month again in June. But we're starting to see a change happening. So let's show you the change. I'm going to stop that screen share, and then we're going to add our little weekly stats here. All right. So as I've been talking about, we've been looking at the net difference every week for, I think I've had 6 or 8 weeks on the bottom here. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. So those are this week's numbers. Now, caveat here is that we had a holiday, July 1st in there. So did that slow things down a little bit from the listing and sale perspective? Possibly. When we review again next week, now 7 is like the lowest it's been, I don't know, since probably last year. So if we delve a little deeper here, our new listings, sure, they've gone down, but really the solds have gone down in a stronger fashion, I guess. Maybe the percentages are close, but not when you look at the net difference here, right? We had numbers up into the 200s 6 and 7 and 8 weeks ago, which are now off our screen in terms of our weeklies. So the net difference plummeted this week down to +7. But having said that, anecdotally, had a listing up in Airdrie on the weekend that went live on late Friday night, and it was conditionally sold by the end of the weekend. And then again, like I said, community by community, it varies so much. This is Calgary as a overall detached. Total listings of 6,630. Our detached jumped slightly up to 3,053. But if you look at the detached listings here over the last 5 weeks, there's not a huge difference in jumping. When we went from 2,939 back 5 weeks ago, and we're at 3,053. That's nominal. The difference is our sales have really tailed off. And again, that was this week with a holiday in there that was on a Thursday. So did that affect sales all through the weekend? First weekend of summer, school's done. But this is, again, I've been saying this for weeks now, this is what we see in Calgary at this time of year. So this is not a shock to me, but it's a shock based on where we've been in the market. So what does it again mean to you if you're a seller? There's still a great opportunity to sell your home for more money than it would have sold for a year and 2 and 3 and 5 years ago. It has to be sharp price-wise from the beginning, and I don't mean a week or two into it. I mean right from the beginning, and got many anecdotal examples of that from my own sales here over the past couple months. So there it is. +7 is our lowest in a long, long time.
That's incredible. That just to see how, like, and it just in a week just disappeared like that, right?
Yeah, but again, we're gonna look at it again, obviously next week, and we're gonna see where the numbers lie, what's our net difference at, and we'll see if this is just a blip or if it's starting a bit of a trend. But again, it's summer in Calgary, and yeah, it's what happens. So, what's going on in your world?
Yeah, it's kind of small, big news. Probably big news for mortgage brokers, smaller for the rest of the world. But CMHC did a little bit of backtracking this week, and I don't know if people remember, 9-ish months ago, we had a bit of a sky is falling situation, right? And so,
Yes.
CMHC was changing their ratios for what we call debt servicing, which means, how much house can you afford? And they were going from
Right.
the common 39.44, which again doesn't mean anything. They went down to 35.42. And now, that's 6-9 months later, they have gone exactly back to where they were before. And their justification for it is that not only did it not affect the market in any way whatsoever, but they have lost a significant amount of market share among the 3 mortgage insurers in Canada. And so it's a little refreshing to see new leadership come in and not be married to the ideas of past leadership. And make really great decisions, right? Like it's
Right.
honestly, CMHC is a bit of a cash cow for the Canadian government. It is a very, very profitable organization, and they brought on a CEO that made bad decisions, and now going forward, all this means is that once again we have access to all 3 mortgage insurers on the same basis.
Right.
There's going to be some little ticks between the 3 of them, but I just think that's positive news in general. So
Yeah.
great to
Yeah.
see that happen. What we're hopeful for is that we're going to see some more government, less government oversight, I guess, coming in the future. And so, that idea of maybe taking the average of what a 5-year fixed is and adding 2% onto that for qualifying. We're hopeful that maybe within the next 6 months that idea comes back instead of pushing that qualifying rate up above what it even should be now to 5.25, right? So,
Yep.
you never know what's going to happen with the government, but that was a small piece of good news for us.
Yeah.
And other than that, rates continue to be what they are. Fantastic. We're seeing an average of prime -1 for the variable adjustable products, and then you can go down to prime -1.2, prime -1.46 on a 3-year. It's incredible to have a mortgage at under 1%.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and continues to be fantastic fixed options. And the thing that I really think is fantastic is that the breadth of product out there right now, it fits. We can find somebody who you might pay an extra 0.1%, but that product really fits you perfectly, right? Like
Yep.
I have people who had their savings in Malaysia, and the vast majority of people won't look at it unless the savings has been in Canada for at least 30 days. Couple of lenders that work specifically with countries like Malaysia and India and things, and they're very happy to look at the savings there, see it arrive in Canada, and away we go. So just it doesn't matter what your situation is. If you've gone to the bank and somebody said no to you, go to another bank, talk to a broker who will go to all the banks and help you find the right product that fits what you're trying to do.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. No, that's great advice. And there's so many great options out there. We've talked many times before about the self-employed, which is a program that I'm in, if nobody's heard that before. But Jayden was great at getting me approved with my self-employment income. And obviously, I mean, there's a little plug for our BNI chapter. If you're wondering whether you should be incorporated as a small business, come join us next week, because our bookkeeper is going to be talking about that. But yeah, so many great programs. So don't hesitate. Don't assume because the bank turned you down, and good on them, but they may not have the right option for you. Definitely talk to Jayden about that, because he has many programs that the banks just don't have access to. Is that fair?
Yeah, for sure. And there's going to be times that I think I have good enough relationships with the banks and bankers now that I know that there's programs that they have that I don't have access to. Very happy to send you to them for those programs as well. So I think it's just that advice. We always, Mark and I work well together because we always want to make sure we're doing the best thing for you.
Absolutely. Great info as always, Jayden. The market is, we think, changing, but we're going to take another look at that next week. Really big drop off in new listings and sales. So we're going to definitely follow up on all of that for you next week. In the meantime, if you're stampeding, Yahoo, enjoy it. And thank you for watching this live on Facebook and later on Facebook and YouTube as well. Jayden, you have a great week. We will talk to you next week.
Yeah, you too, buddy. Thanks.